Hello, I'm Kilpo1, and welcome to the Unit Deep Dive. In this video series, we're covering a specific unit within a setting, in this case being the Foreverwinter, a grim-dark, post-apocalyptic world dominated by endless war and devastating war machines. We'll first dive into how these units currently function mechanically within the game, and then go over lore and attempt to fill any gaps in lore with theories. Today we're going to be discussing Europa's war machine, the Medium Mech. The Europan Medium Mech is a towering array of weaponry, arranged into a roughly humanoid shape. Alongside the Exo, this mech is a mainstay of Europa's mechanized forces, deploying in a large number during engagements. Its design leans heavily into functionality, with an industrial aesthetic that favors optimized performance over visual appeal. Starting from the ground up, the mech features two large blockish feet, armored with thick plating, and equipped with stabilizing pistons and traction spikes to maintain stability over difficult terrain. The leg's exhaust fans on the rear upper thighs manage cooling and dust clearance for the leg's internal mechanisms. As we'll see throughout the Europan Medium Mech, the legs are equipped with an array of sensors and cameras that support navigation and situational awareness. These systems converge at the mech's pelvis, where a prominent cylindrical structure serves multiple critical functions. This component likely houses essential hydraulic systems, acts as a counterweight to lower the mech's center of gravity while balancing its rear-mounted rotary gun, and provides cooling and pressure regulation. It may also double as a fuel storage or generator module to sustain the mech's operational demands. Additionally, the cylinder is capped with a sensor suite, positioned low to the ground, granting the mech a comprehensive view of its immediate surroundings. The mech's torso is deeply embedded within its exterior shell, creating a robust barrier that shields critical systems and the pilot from enemy fire. It is likely that the mech's power plant is also contained within the torso, either at its base or as part of its rear protrusion. Positioning the power plant at the base would maximize protection by placing it at the mech's center, while a rear-mounted location might facilitate easier maintenance and offer additional frontal protection. The torso also supports the mech's small, teardrop-shaped head, equipped with 6 hinged eyes that provide redundancy and a wide field of awareness to coordinate its diverse array of armaments. The Europan Medium Mech's design suggests a high degree of weapon interchangeability, starting with its wielded weaponry. These are primarily upscaled versions of conventional firearms, with the most common being a large magazine-fed cannon modeled after the SCAR rifle. This powerful weapon delivers sustained high-impact damage, capable of decimating most targets with just a few rounds, and includes an explosive warhead function for anti-infantry purposes. Other available, though uncommon, weapons include upscaled versions of the S12, M60, and MPL weapons. As a core component of Europa's mechanized forces, medium mechs are also seen to utilize and place weaponry, such as massive artillery systems. Some artillery emplacements may even rely on these mechs for mobility and deployment in battle. In terms of fixed weaponry, the mech features 2 interchangeable shoulder-mounted pauldrons, most often equipped with quad cannons designed for anti-infantry or anti-drone purposes. While lacking accuracy, these quad cannons compensate with a high volume of explosive fire. The pauldrons are designed to detach if they sustain enough damage, underscoring their modularity and hinting at other, less common pauldron variants. Importantly, the loss of these pauldrons does not impede the mech's ability to operate its main arms, reinforcing their expendable nature. One often unnoticed hardpoint of these mechs is the shoulder blades, which may have a rotary machine gun within a fixed camera. While beneficial for dealing with nearby infantry, these hardpoints are relatively fragile, incoming damage quickly rendering these guns inoperable or shearing them off from the mech's frame entirely. The mech's final weapon is defensive in nature, a rotary cannon affixed to its upper back, protruding just above the torso. This rotary cannon resembles a close-in weapon system, a CWIS, traditionally used in short-range anti-aircraft or anti-missile roles. However, in the environment of the Foreverwinter, it serves primarily as an anti-infantry or anti-drone weapon, providing rear coverage for the mech. Unlike typical CWIS systems, this rotary cannon has a reduced rate of fire, currently functioning more like an automatic cannon than a high-speed Gatling gun. In close combat, The Europan Medium Mech leverages its formidable mass and movement to crush smaller threats, such as infantry, beneath its weight. Against more resilient or agile enemies, the mech can execute a devastating ground strike, shattering the terrain around it and clearing its immediate vicinity of soft targets. The mech's weapon systems could be enhanced by artificial or virtual intelligence, which may provide targeting assistance and heads-up notifications of immediate threats. This support is most evident in the mech's rapid target acquisition, especially during transitions between targets. The systems likely utilize identification friend or foe (IFF) technology to quickly differentiate allies from enemies. However, during the chaos of battle, the mech is known to occasionally engage neutral or unaffiliated targets, as they lack the necessary IFF signatures to be recognized as non-combatants. While the mech's offensive suite seems to be quite adaptable, let's now look at the mech's defenses and weaknesses. At a first glance, the Europan Medium Mech appears to rely solely upon its armor for protection. However, a closer look reveals weight-saving measures throughout its chassis, especially in the joints and legwork. The true defensive strength of the mech lies in its extensive sensor suite, providing the pilot with superior battlefield awareness. This awareness is crucial for positioning the mech to properly orient its armor against incoming fire, allowing it to shield vulnerable joints effectively through tactical maneuvering. A core defensive weakness of the Europan Medium Mech lies in its relatively vulnerable topside defenses. This area is lightly armored and fitted with rows of either smoke launchers or an active protection system (APS), capable of detecting and intercepting incoming projectiles. Due to the mech's limited ability to engage elevated threats at shallow angles, it relies heavily on the rear-mounted rotary gun and potential APS to protect against threats from above or from the rear. This defensive weakness is especially prominent in urban environments with any degree of verticality, with infantry elevated well above the mech being a significant threat to it. While the mech's armor does provide effective protection, sustained damage from explosives can quickly disable the mech. However, despite these weaknesses, the mech does do a good job of shielding its pilot from harm. These single pilots who operate the mechs enter through an entry hatch located at the top of the mech, descending into the cockpit. Unlike the XO, where the armor encases the pilot, the Medium Mech's design places the pilot in a more traditional cockpit layout. The head of the mech, which is fully exterior to the cockpit, serves as the pilot's primary field of view. However, the mech is equipped with numerous sensors and additional data feeds, further reinforcing the possible integration of virtual intelligence or artificial intelligence to help process data from these numerous sensors. The Europan Medium Mech thus far is a capable and adaptable war machine that prioritizes pilot awareness and combat adaptability. To obtain a better picture of how these mechs are used in combat situations, let us now analyze where they are deployed and how they are utilized at these locations. These mechs, being a cornerstone of Europan mechanized forces, are a great signifier of Europa's investment into controlling an area. Their most frequent operational zones include Ashen Mesa, Scorched Enclave, Elephant Mausoleum, and the mech trenches. For Ashen Mesa, these mechs are heavily deployed across the Central Plains, engaging Uresca and Eurasia forces who are defending the approach to the city. Supported by squads of infantry and platoons of tanks, these mechs focus primarily on combat against these rebel factions, giving little attention to unaffiliated scavengers who inhabit the area. On Scorched Enclave, mech deployment here is less frequent, with mechs advancing from the expansive fields to assault heavily fortified areas in the pipelines. Their role is primarily anti-vehicle, targeting armor and other mechs before turning their attention to lighter targets such as infantry. Elephant Mausoleum sees consistent deployment of Europan Medium Mechs to defend the trench lines near the ruins. Some mechs are also seen returning to the hangar from the central ravine, though the landscape is dotted with mech wrecks, underscoring the unrelenting combat and lack of recovery operations. This frontline area highlights the strategic importance of Elephant Mausoleum and its direct connection to the mech trenches. Mech trenches is a vast network of trenches serving as a logistical hub for Europan forces, featuring facilities for recycling, food processing, and mech hangars. Medium mechs are not deployed in mass here, only occasionally being found individually, suggesting that they were intercepted in transit to other locations, such as Elephant Mausoleum. Occasionally, Europan medium mechs are assigned as hunter-killer units, tasked with eliminating specific targets identified as threats by Europan Command. These targets often include unaffiliated or neutral entities, responsible for theft, hostile actions against Europan forces, or the acquisition of high-value items, such as data caches. The Europan medium mech's battlefield prowess is undeniable, but its design and deployment reveal much more than just tactical considerations. To truly understand its place within Europa's forces, we need to delve into the lore and explore the theories that give this machine deeper significance. Let's uncover what lies beneath the armor. First and foremost, one of the key aspects of Europa's mech doctrine is its reliance on conventional pilots. The frequent presence of these pilots on the battlefield, often accompanied by elite soldiers, suggests that Europa's high command places significant value on preserving the skills and knowledge of these operators. Supporting this ideology is the prevalence of relatively intact, disabled mechs, indicating that even in catastrophic damage scenarios, the pilots remain safe enough to successfully abandon the mech. This contrasts sharply with the treatment of Europa's infantry, who are often deployed in a highly expendable manner, thrown into intense combat with little regard for their survival. This approach hints at a hierarchical, or perhaps even caste-like structure within Europa's military. Alternatively, it may reflect pure pragmatism, as the difference in training, skill requirements, and resource investment between a standard grunt and a highly trained pilot is likely substantial. Another key tenet of Europa's military philosophy is evident in the design of its medium mech, which emphasizes functionality, modularity, and multi-role adaptability over aesthetic considerations. This philosophy is mirrored across Europa's ranks, where units are differentiated primarily by their weapon, armor, and training, rather than highly specialized modifications. This stands in stark contrast to Eurasia and to a lesser extent Eureska, whose forces rely on specialized but less adaptable units, such as the Eurasian Cyborg or the Eurescan Grabber. The mech's dexterity further reinforces its versatility, as it is capable of operating complex machinery like a massive handheld cannon with remarkable accuracy. This level of finesse suggests a potential application beyond frontline combat. Variants of the medium mech could be deployed in construction, logistics, or rear support roles, such as operating in placed artillery. These capabilities highlight the mech's value as a multifunctional asset within Europa's forces, continuing to distinguish it from the more niche-focused units fielded by its rivals. However, the use of these mechs in secondary roles could heavily depend upon the power plant it uses. The Europan Medium Mech's power plant remains a mystery, with its immense energy requirements narrowing the possibilities down to a few things, such as advanced power cells, fission reactors, or fusion reactors, each with their own unique strengths and challenges. Advanced power cells are modular and safe, allowing for quick battlefield repairs without specialized tools. However, their low energy density and the logistical burden of frequent resupply make them an impractical choice for a machine of this scale, especially if these are just more advanced versions of the hydrogen fuel cells used today. Fission reactors provide reliable, long-term energy and are a proven technology, capable of powering this mech for years without refueling. However, they do require heavy radiation shielding, increasing weight and complexity, and a breach of this reactor could render the mech and the surrounding environment highly radioactive. While effective, these challenges make fission a functional but risky option. Fusion reactors, with their unmatched power output and minimal radioactive waste, represent the pinnacle of energy technology. Their ability to safely shut down during breaches might explain the intact yet disabled mechs found on the battlefields like the Elephant Mausoleum. However, their reliance on advanced facilities for maintenance and the need for an external ignition source represents significant logistical hurdles. If fusion reactors are indeed used, it implies the miniaturization and mass production of fusion technology, a development with profound lore implications, as it could suggest near unlimited energy resources. With both fission and fusion reactors demanding specialized facilities for maintenance, and the abundance of disabled mechs on the battlefield, it may reflect Europa's manufacturing philosophy. If factories outproduce the supply of trained pilots, it's likely more efficient to field new mechs than repair damaged ones, leaving graveyards of these mechs across the battlefields as recovery and salvage operations are necessary. Ultimately, whether powered by modular fuel cells, reliable fission, or futuristic fusion, the mech's power plant profoundly shapes its battlefield performance and Europa's broader strategic and logistical doctrine. Lastly, we turn to the role of the Europan Medium Mech within Europa's mechanized forces, and the insights this offers into their operational philosophy. A defining feature of the mech is its modular design, emphasizing adaptability through pre-deployment customization. This approach allows the mech to be tailored for specific missions, offering strategic versatility at the cost of reduced flexibility once in the field. Such a system could reflect Europa's reliance on precise intelligence and meticulous planning, prioritizing preparation over real-time improvisation in combat. The possible integration of artificial or virtual intelligence further enhances the mech's potential effectiveness and multi-role capability. These AI systems could provide targeting assistance and could independently operate weapons like the rear-mounted rotary gun, neutralizing threats that fail to pass the IFF check. Additionally, the AI could act as a vital node on the battlefield for intelligence, relaying real-time data to High Command to support both tactical maneuvers and broader strategic moves. Despite these possibilities, Europa's continued reliance on conventional pilots reveals a deliberate restraint embracing full automation. This choice may reflect a cultural or strategic aversion to ceding control of systems that cannot be entirely predicted or managed. Unlike the Eurasian and Eurasian counterparts, who lean more heavily on AI autonomy, Europa may value the adaptability and judgment of human operators. Though, this balance of human oversight and restricted AI augmentation may define Europa's cautious approach to advanced technologies. By favoring proven systems, such as conventional weaponry, modular design, and potentially fission-based power plants, Europa may prioritize reliability and control over untested innovation. While this philosophy ensures operational resilience, it may tether the faction's seemingly futuristic forces to a foundation rooted in the past, highlighting their pragmatic yet conservative approach to warfare. That's all for today's exploration of the Europan Medium Mech. What do you think of its design and battlefield role? Is Europa's reliance on traditional systems a strength or a weakness? Share your thoughts in the comments and let me know which unit you'd like to see next. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.